and welcome back to Birth Me Code. Now, when we last left off, we finally got through the first trial with a route that will continue the game. Ran into a few dead ends, but we finally made progress, and I'm still in love with how we got there. Took a lot of experimentation with the variables we can manipulate, and a few hints out of some bad endings, but we made it through. Ira, but really, I don't know how much of a, He did seem like one of the better ones out of there, that his only crime might have been not being brave enough to stop Superbia from doing her crime. His crime could only have been as an accomplice. And he finally had a bit of his moment to stand up and make a decision for himself. And now here we stand. Well, that's done now. As time resumed its flow, the aftermath of the vote's outcome rang through Ancora's head again. I wonder if that's when NVIDIA died. There was this big blank, and then a question of, I was expecting something to happen, but it didn't. What we did have happen when we went through this route was, it seemed like Ira's consciousness was, my guess is uploaded somewhere, and met with another entity in that same silence. And called themselves Pandora, but I wonder if that's actually me. Anyway, the aftermath of the vote's outcome rang through Ancora's head again. Among the group was a dead body. Oops, and it exploded. Right after a detonation came from it, then it exploded again. Ira's head became engulfed in a cloud of smoke and dust. Everyone watched in silent horror at what their vote had caused. After everything settled down, they were expecting to see a limp corpse. The result wasn't too far off the mark, but instead of being merely a corpse, it was a headless corpse. Yeah, slight difference. There was nothing left above the shoulders. Ah! The smallest of the bunch immediately averted her gaze to disappear to the other side of the consoles, where there was no dead body and no explosion. Where there was no pool of blood marring the ground in its deathly crimson hue. The flood from the neck had caused the floor to take on a reddish tint, with rivulets of the liquid scattered as would drops of rain. Unlike raindrops, which washed, these drying spots remained, a reminder that this was real and someone had died. Escaping death was lucky. An opportunity like this won't repeat itself. Next time it'll be harder. It happened, did it not? Yes, Ira's dead. The dust slowly cleared as the seconds passed. Superbia's hands were closed in fists, and she was trembling. Despite her previous countenance, it was clear that the rabbit had been affected by the outcome. While it was lucky, he wasn't my primary target. A clean waste. At least Superbia's lost a pawn. Let's go. We have more cards to find and so little time. I agree. This scene is... The smell is particularly terrible, too. It's just a fucking dead body. You're all for my emptiness. Put on your thick skin. The reality of the situation was slowly sinking inside. Superbia looked at NVIDIA while the boy was accusing her. His blood is on your hands as much as all the people you've mistreated. You drove him to this point. That is... none of your concern. Mind your own self. NVIDIA shook his head and walked away, prematurely interrupting the conversation. It was clear that Superbia wouldn't be winning anybody's trust anytime soon. The prospects did not please her at all. And Cor looked around. Avarisha had gone missing as soon as she went free, and most likely to search for another me card. It was the same for Gula, who left just then. The only ones remaining around the consoles were Superbia, Pandora, Luxuria, and Tristia. Superbia, Luxuria, Tristia. You don't seem really affected by it, Trist. Trist finally stared back at Cor, shrugging. People live and die. Do you know what percentage of the human population is still alive out of our entire history? Mathematically, that's around 7.5%. Each death doesn't even make it budge much. Again, Tristitia shrugged. What you see here is just a result. A real result, mind you. It was a result brought on by what we perceived was real. Like the Thomas theorem, if men define situations as real, they are real in their consequences. Well, it's a little like a placebo. We didn't really know if this entire thing was real. If it was a joke or not. Maybe some of us didn't take it seriously. But the consequence is real, now. We needed this wake-up call. And let me ask you, what's so peculiar about Ira's dead body? He pointed at the lack of a head. We were all in front of a shotgun. The one in front of him fired, but there were no bullet wounds. Those guns might not really shoot, but we still die when they get us. It doesn't matter. We didn't get the mastermind. The others looked at her. It was a real worry. With the timer ticking down again, they had a job to fulfill. Truth be told, the game will really only end the moment I find out the traitor. Anything to manipulate them into thinking they won. I suppose we'll just have to keep the train going. Hopefully I'm not next to die. Me neither. Hopefully it's not your turn to die. But nobody here probably would wish to die next. Even with this. I'm not going to offer myself up. Even though I'm sure you've all made up your mind on your next vote already. It's not as though death is this terrible. We've been dead for like an eternity before we were born. And dying is just returning to that state. For all eternity this time. I feel like Tristitia is one of that kind of online atheists. For Ira, that just came earlier than the rest of us. That's not saying he is that particular, but he's definitely got that kind of the dead don't give a shit about what their corpse looked like. And I'm gonna say, he's not outright doomer, but he's just the kind of person who is a joy at in conversations. As you're just having a nice, pleasant conversation, then he'll stroll up and say, Did you know that only 77.5% of all humans in human history are still alive? If you, me, him, her, Karen, if we all die, the number won't even budge. We're all meaningless in the sands of time. We've all been dead for eons. We'll all be dead soon enough anyways. And then the rest of us just kind of look around awkwardly and stunned silence as he sidles off. And then the conversation dies. Thanks, Tristitia. He sighed after talking, leaving the surroundings shortly after. His tone had been completely void of any care for the deceased. Yeah? Superbia left after him, most likely to search for a new me card, but not without looking at the dead body one last time. The only remaining one was Luxuria. As much as we seem to be loving to hate Superbia, I'm actually really interested in her backstory, I'm not gonna lie. The only remaining one was Luxuria, and Cora approached her. The girl was sobbing lightly into her mask. This is going to play out the same as the dead end route. Despite her nature, Ancora was having issues ignoring the girl while she was clearly distraught. We can go elsewhere if you want. I guess. I can't believe this actually happened. Twice now. Twice beheading. The others from when that girl got the wrong guess, most likely. As Ancora noticed when she wandered closer, Luxuria was extremely destabilized by the event, to the point where she was not only hugging herself in fear, but also on the verge of mental collapse. Wanna help me put in the cards in the Wanna help me put in the cards into the slots in the middle? We have to do it at some point, so you may as well fill 9 cards in. Okay. The angle of her helmet showed she gave a glance toward the headless corpse before she set off to work alongside Ancora. The two of them began collecting the deactivated cards from the consoles, careful not to wander in front of one of the shotguns. It would be too stupid if one of them fired by mistake. It's obvious they can't fire unless a vote is cast, and that they don't shoot real bullets. Lux, do you trust me? Ancora asked the question, though she didn't expect any real answer out of the girl. To her surprise, she nodded while they were putting in the cards into the bomb. Oh, it is a bomb. Yeah, a little now. Bia still doesn't look all too right to me. We should team up, I think. Well, alright, this is a bit different. You're staying behind to help, so I think I can trust you. We should do something for her, to reach out to her. She's clearly shaken, don't you think? I see. Well, I trust you too, Lux. You're right, we should team up. As for Bia, maybe. Getting some allies is ideal for the next round. It's vital for the next round, whenever that will be. Do you trust Ula too? I noticed you two went off together earlier. Yeah! Ula is actually really nice, even if she looks a little odd. She gave me the me card that we found, you know? I'm curious why we couldn't hack into your side. That sounds nice, right? In that case, maybe Ula could be part of the team. Though I don't know much about her myself. We should talk with her later. Ancora tried to think of who else they could trust and add to their team. Judging by what they've been told, they were going through the same thing over and over. And the others most likely considered that process too. Maybe what they've been told. Oh yeah. All of us going through the process of figuring out who they can trust over and over. Yeah, very recursive process. Solving a puzzle room. Getting me cards. Voting. Opening the way further in. Repeat. Isn't this what insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results? Luxuria had stopped moving in front of one of the consoles, as if examining it more closely. It was Ira's console. After a few moments of silence, she joined Ancora again. Did she have an issue removing the card? I think Vinny could be a good member of the team, too. Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Ancora could tell her mind was elsewhere. I'll go check with the others. I'll put the rest of the cards in, okay? We can tell her mind is elsewhere, so we're going to leave her alone. She gave a half-hearted wave that Luxuria didn't even reply to. Probably a better idea to get to the others and help them with the puzzle, just so things keep going smoothly. Ancora met with the others. That does kind of spell trouble. I still got questions about that side of the bracket. Luxuria and Gula. We couldn't hack into them, for some reason. Luxuria is the one who figures out how to get the guns off. So maybe she tampered with their helmet. Maybe she's the friend who made the helmets in the first place. We don't know. Maybe she's the traitor. We don't know. Oh, just Justicia and Avaricia were huddled near a square panel reminiscent of the one from before. Puzzle time. Hey, Ancora. We're trying to solve this. Give us a hand, will you? Well, sure. I'm not very good at this. I only know what I know. Before either of them could do anything else, their visions turned into the familiar fake environment once more. Oh, hello. Me wasn't done giving them instructions. Greetings once more. I'm sure you'd rather not see me again. Not after the vote and your forced witness of a dead body. Alright, this did happen. I would like to remind you that there will be 5 more in total today, other than this one. So you should strap yourselves in. The carnage is nowhere yet. Far from it. Fortunately for you, now you have an hour of respite. Please use your time well. We will be heading towards more of these educational rooms now. If you'd remember the room you woke up in, they're a little like that. All the me cards are hidden further inside. To progress, you'll have to unlock the door leading to the hallway, much like how you've unlocked the previous one. That is correct. Another puzzle awaits you. Hopefully you didn't kill off your best puzzle solver yet. Or else you would regret it now. The timer inside of Ancora's helmet read exactly 4 hours remaining. Once you've made your way inside, you'll have to split up into 3 groups. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 in a group. The very moment 4 people enter the same classroom, they will surrender their right to live. Each classroom has an assigned subject for you to study, and a question to answer. The subject in question will be given to you personally by me after 39 seconds have elapsed, since the room's door has been opened, which is also when it will close and lock. Won't you feel smarter by learning various subjects? We are at a school, after all. Another smart thing to do, not opening the doors until you are ready to go in, otherwise it will lock you out for 39 minutes. Please remember that once you enter a room, you will also only have 39 minutes before you surrender your right to live. Time is of the essence, and I will stop taking it from you for now. From now on, I will only appear to give you each room's subject as you enter them. I wish all 7 of you good luck, and don't forget, I'll see you later. And Cora looked at the 2 others. Avaricia looked back at her. Yeah, definitely the puzzle got solved off-screen in the dead route. Only Justicia had his mind elsewhere, looking away instead. Anything the matter? No, it's just thinking. Feel free to solve the puzzle. Something just caught me by surprise. Yeah, I guess it would be a shame that the best puzzle solver would be dead, huh? Without further ado, Ancora set off to solve that puzzle and open the doors for everyone else. Oh, alright. Let's just do it. Solve the puzzle. No valid words around clockwise. Well, we've been very literal on word puzzles like these in the past. So, we're going to spell valid words. Round. Clock. Wise. Valid words around clockwise. Touchdown. You solved it! Thank you, thank you. I'll field your applause now. Thank you, thank you. Taking a bow, taking a bow. With the puzzle solved, the doors were now operational. And here we are. We have definitely seen this before. as the group of three figured out, this led to another hallway. From what they could see at first, it was much more expansive than the last one, since it didn't have metal plates in place to stop there. Place to stop their advance on one side. Sorry, my mind drifted off there for a second. They arrived at a split in the road. One led to the left with many classrooms, and another fork with one direction blocked by many more metal plates, while the right side led to a few more classrooms as well as a locked set of doors. Let's have a look at the long hallway. Indeed. More interesting, I say. The three of them went down the hall, looking at each door. Some of them were stuck, bolted in place, while others were only closed. The difference could only be felt when Ancora pressed onto them with both hands. 3 of them are accessible. Those are the next puzzle rooms. Only 2 are down this way, though. After a while, the hallway turned to the left. There was mention of 3 classrooms, correct? I reckon the last one might be that way. I'm not so sure about that. The teacher proceeded to try peeking into the familiar classrooms to no avail. The doors were all closed as per usual, and all of them had a high rectangular window covered by a metallic plate. Oh, hello. Exit. Justicia took the lead to check further in, at the very back, only to stop after reaching the corner. Ancora joined him, acting all curious. This is a dead end. There's a door, but it's got a lock I haven't seen here yet. Judging by where we are, the metal plates separate us from the very first hallway we went into. Thinking back to the map, Ancora knew he was correct. Well played. While they spoke, Avaricia pushed onto the doors, but they were all completely bolted down. No use for all these doors either. They're all completely shut. I don't think any of these are going to unlock. It's almost like they're just walls. I appreciate that her helmet has just a massive hair hole at the bottom. Like most of them in the first hallway, huh? Spent a moment thinking about what it meant before he shrugged it away, motioning for the others to get a move on. Let's go back and share everything we found with the others. The group agreed to the proposition and they went back to the split, where the others had conspicuously arrived seconds later, including Luxuria. After a brief discussion on what was to do next, the group split back up. Luxuria, Invidia, Gula, and Superbia were checking out the classrooms down the hall, while the first trio went over to the closed door they'd spied earlier. Within seconds, they were standing in front of it. Much like the previous 2 doors, this one had a puzzle next to it. However, it wasn't lit up yet. I'm gonna have to do another voting session to force this panel to light up. That's a guess if I've ever heard one. It just makes sense. Everything so far has been methodically built to bar our way when we go too fast. This door's going to open anytime soon then. So what now? Now we decide on our groups. Let's wait for them in the split. We didn't have much time. Now, are we still going to do Lux, Superbia, and Ancora? The clock was ticking. A few seconds later, the other groups joined back with them again, and the discussion about how to split up was delayed once more when Luxuria mentioned the possibility to form a voting group. What? No, that's not a good idea. People grouping up ahead of time to decide on voting others out would jeopardize the normal decision-making process. Someone needed to chip in, so after some consideration, Ancora... simple trust choice. This feels suspicious. So I'm gonna take this suspicious choice. Maybe it would be good if we all group up based on who we trust most and decide on who's the most trustworthy ones. We can avoid having scuffles later on. It can also save us time. Well, that's still unfair for the rest of the others who weren't part of it. It is like condemning them to die, no? That's a recipe for disaster if I've ever seen one. People can do really terrible things when they're backed into a corner. Precisely. It's probably just unfair on the rest and it will lead nowhere. We'll give a few of us a position of power over the rest. Yeah, you're not wrong. Luxuria and Ancora looked at the others. Avarisha, Tristitia, and Invidia were all nodding their heads. Gula didn't seem to truly be sharing their opinion. But all she could give was a slight shrug toward the two, considering she was outnumbered. I think I'm a teacher, so normally I'd talk about Unity too, but I think we shouldn't make a group this time. I have a feeling I'd be excluded from it because my situation is different, or some other excuse. Plainly understood. I am certain this endeavor would serve only to well and truly drive a wedge between all of our personages. She stared at her nails, making no eye contact with anyone, or helmet contact, as it were. With no chance of making any additional alliances, Ancora gave up on the idea for now. For now. It's a little too dangerous when absolutely everyone is around, because who are we kidding? Of course there's going to be a vote group sooner or later. I guess that's that. What about me cards? Did any of you find any more? Actually, we haven't. Luxuria looked quite bothered, but only Ancora seemed to notice. As far as me told us, we have to explore more of those death traps to find additional cards. Looking in the hall didn't give us anything. I have a theory our 3 teams will end up with 9 total cards again. Of course, we won't need all those cards to vote. And the first rooms didn't even have 9 cards either. That came later. Probably the same here, too. But we're going to need them to finish discarding them in slots with that weird hexagon or whatever either way. Yeah, so there's no chance for us to slack off. Doors to the first rooms haven't opened again since we left them. So if we don't get those cards, we're completely stuck. We should organize our splitting accordingly to our skill level then. Balance teams, huh? Cora knew what that meant. It meant that, since she'd already proven herself to be smart, she wouldn't have much of a choice with whom to go. Going with Justitia seemed out of the question. Precisely. Each set had a specific individual better poised to solve those infernal contraptions. As a result, it would be best to split up accordingly to said skillful lot. Cora, Ula, and I are the ones who did most. And what the others said, those who did least, were Ira, Lux, and Vidi. I mean, it was kind of evenly split between Vidi and Bia. That's selling them short a fair bit. I mean, and in terms of death contraptions, it's less a death contraption and more a death quiz where the contraptions in our heads will kill us if we fail. Which I guess has in itself a contraption, so point taken. No, that's wrong. And Cora interrupted him while shaking her head. In our room, Vidi did a good amount of stuff. Bia bitched and moaned the entire time and barely helped. She got one thing out of the light because she's tall. Wait, come to think of it, what is Bia doing? She's been unnaturally quiet. Where is she? The entire group noticed that the girl was gone. Did she even come back with the other group? She might have remained in the hallway, come to think of it. First, let's get the groups made. Then whoever ends up with her will go fetch her. Okay? Everett was in agreement. I mean, you should form the team to something like Ula and Ava, Vidi with me, The three others, which would be Lux, Bia, and you, Cora, would go together. Wait, you want me to team up with Bia? She wouldn't be dead. I'm aware. Maybe she won't hate you as much if you're both put in the same team. Strange teams. Putting girls with girls and boys with boys. Now that you mention it, you're right. Still, I think this is our best lineup to force some differences to fall before the next voting session. Force some differences to fall. Something was definitely nagging at Tristitia. He's trying to create new bonds? Get people to open up to different people? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Tristy. The more he spoke, the more his tone became a little detached, as if he was thinking about something. And Cora left it by for a moment because her objection to grouping with Superbia hadn't been entirely shot down. Wouldn't grouping with Ava and Ula be fine too for me? He was caught short, still halfway in his thoughts. I guess that would be fine too. I don't really have an objection. It does unbalance Bia's team, however. Then I'll take Bia with me and Vidi will go with Lux. Maybe. Okay, if that's your choice, Cora. Oh. And Cora had a choice. Either the teams would be Team 1 and Cora, Luxuria, and Superbia, Team 2, Invidia and Tristitia, and Team 3, Avaricia and Gula, or there would be Team 1 and Cora, Avaricia and Gula, Team 2, Superbia and Tristitia, and Team 3, Invidia and Luxuria. With those group compositions in mind, and Cora went with... I think we are going to stick with Lux and Bia. Mainly because I want to see how that group would have played out. Maybe we're going to die. That too. Melancholy. I'll just stick to the original plan with Bia and Lux. Boing, boing, boing. Since they're going with Bia, we should go look for her real quick. She can't have gone much further. The only way out of the wing was the way they all came in from, since anything leading further in was blocked by doors or walls. Because the doors clearly didn't have the rabbit. Because the doors clearly didn't have the rabbit in their surroundings, there's only one place she could be. After the bend on the left. Yeah, sure. She still didn't care much to group with Superbia after the fiasco of the first voting session. While they deliberated about it, Avaricia and Gula readied themselves and made their way to the door closest to the group. The first one down the hall on the left. Vidi and I are going to take the second one here, and if you two get Superbia and take her back to the locked doors. There's a classroom there you can enter, I believe. How does that sound? I don't really have a preference. Invidia did seem in disagreement with that course of action. And Cora wasn't either, so the group started walking. However, she could tell that something was bothering Tristitia. Hey Trist, something on your mind? No, not really. But I was thinking about epiphanies. You know what an epiphany is, right? Yeah, kind of. Had an idea? Maybe. I don't know if I can really talk about it yet, though. I'm a little bit reticent for now, as it's still somewhat baseless. So we did have an idea then. Ooh. And Cora. Oh boy. Tell me, Trist. You just sound a little absent. Is it regarding what Lux said just now? I admit your pondering is now bothering me equally. Gula's sudden intervention surprised Ancora, since the girl momentarily came back just for this, making Avaricia wait on her. Justicia hesitated a little, while the teacher patiently crossed her arms, apparently glaring daggers at the group. No, not really about Lux. It's about what me said, or yeah, that is true. Oh, the voting groups? It's about what me said earlier. Something just doesn't quite add up. What is it? I can't say just yet. It might be something big. I want One of us is definitely the mastermind, so I'm going to speak about it later, after I'm out of the rooms. If I die before then, Viddy is the mastermind. What? Sorry, but it's just related to what I'm thinking about. Nothing personal. Pretty sure he's just safeguarding himself from dying because he knows if it came out that Nvidia was the mastermind, he'd be voted next round. It's just insurance. A weird thing to throw out there. Well, that's your choice, I guess. I can't really tell you not to not distrust me, given our current situation. But we're also going to be exploring a room together, so you better not fight. How interesting. Gula's interest in the topic struck Ancora as odd once more, but she didn't pursue it. The more she thought about it, the more she figured Gula's words were tinted with sarcasm. Assuming her original interest was due to her being mentioned, why does Gula have such a keen interest in Luxuria? A very short while later, Avarisha and Gula disappeared into their room. The leftover group of 4 went together further down the hall. Nvidia and Tristitia would leave for the second room, while Ancora and Luxuria fetched Superbia. What we're going into? Have fun with Bia. I can hear the sarcasm in his voice. Ancora could tell that was sarcasm. With a wave, the 2 of them vanished inside the room. Ancora tried to stretch her neck over to peek inside, but the door was already shut by the time she had the opportunity to do so. Let's get Bia now. Ancora could also tell that she wasn't too enthused about it. No surprises there. Very few of them were enamored with the bunny girl, if anybody at all. For good reasons. Superbia. Very soon their steps brought them to the corner of the hallway where Superbia had disappeared to. It was right next to the middle of plates Ancora had previously investigated. Oh! There she was, sitting against the wall, holding her knees together against her body. She wasn't looking good. The helmet obscured her features, but it was still the first time she displayed herself in such a way. Vulnerable. What the fuck do you 2 want? Go away. She was not in a good mood. Look, we have to go explore the rooms. You insane? I'm not moving from here. If things have to get bad, then let them get bad as they'll be. I don't care. I don't think we can reason with her. Luxuria timidly spoke to Ancora. Seeing how the situation wouldn't improve if they did nothing anyway, she gave it a shot. Bia, we should form a vote group. Ah! Ancora remembered the idea of a vote group and how it was shot down by the rest of the people. Then again, Gula didn't seem like she cared one way or another about it. Technically, they did have 3 people in it. And with Superbia, it would be 4. But she didn't want to think about it, and Ancora believed that could work. What a conundrum. Either not have a vote group and be at the mercy of everyone else again, or form a vote group with this, bad egg? So what's that got to do with me? I don't like seeing you like this. I was thinking we could include you in it. We'd all vote for the same person, and since we'd be 4 in it, then... She left what happened up in the air, but it was clear. This did get Superbia's attention, and soon enough she perked up a little. Well, I guess this won't get me killed. Ancora knew Superbia was thinking about it now. A few moments later, and she slowly stood back up, looking a little reticent, but willing to cooperate. Huh. Luxuria actually convinced her rather easily. Was a little smooth, too. Well played. Fine. Fine, then. Whatever. Okay, I'm in. That was easy. Having a chance to not immediately die in the next vote has that effect, yes. The rabbit girl was a little less reticent to accompany the others. And Cora was thankful for that, because they needed their full team of 3 to begin with. I'm very happy about that. Let's go now. We really have to hurry to that first room, or we'll run out of time. The group ran back to the closed doors and slid into the room next to them. All in all, this meeting had taken a few minutes off their clock. Inside, what greeted them was... Oh, the principal's office. They marveled at this room they had never seen firsthand. Then the 39 seconds elapsed. On the dot, their visions were all taken by me, just as the door leading outside of the room locked. I hope you remember the newspaper article from the first room you've explored, because this is the principal's office, home of the principal, the man who was arrested. Normally it is in another wing, but that wing was destroyed by an explosion. Terrible affair, isn't it? And why am I mentioning this? I wonder if you could put together the puzzle. Anyway, your question for this room is, what crime did the principal commit? That man is a rather large link between all of you, even if you ignored it up to now. Unfortunately, you won't be learning his name yet. I say that, but someone in your group already knows his name since they are relative. Ooh. If they remember it, that's another matter entirely. Maybe you'll learn it soon. Either way, that's my introduction done. Don't forget. I'll see you later. What crime did the principal commit? Well, murder, obviously. The entire speech was much shorter this time around, lasting only a minute or so. A group of three looked at each other, trying to determine how to take that information. Let's split up then. We have this whole room to search. And Cora pointed at an opening in the wall, in the far back. And there's that area too. We should investigate that. Do you think there's another room connected to this one as part of the puzzle? What do you think would be beyond the principal's office? Beats me. His secret torture chamber, obviously. Okay, let's go. The three of them split up as convened. Suburbia took the left side, while Luxuria focused on the right side, leaving Ancora to do as she pleased. Bye, bitches. I'll do as I please. Yeah, finally another deduction. Alright, we can talk to people. Oh, wrong button. Okay, here's what we got to work with. Door. That's the door we entered through. And now it's locked. That's right. Searching it is useless right now. Well, you never know. What do you think is behind... It's a hallway. There's nothing else here. We already know what's outside, you idiot. Well, she's got her spunk back fairly quickly, at least. Good to know. These two seem... Why are those linked? This is a big mess. How are we supposed to find anything in this pile of books? I don't know. It's not just made of books either. There are newspapers, and I think I'm spying a secret journal with a lock. Ooh, really? What would a grown man do with that? Maybe it's not his own. Two of them searched the books for a while, trying to find out anything about the principal. Eventually, Superbia noticed that they were doing that for a while and joined them. What are you two dolts doing now? We're looking for clues. In this messy pile of books? Fine, I'll look too. Baka. Guess she wants us to get this whole search done and over with faster. I wonder why she changed her mind. Beforehand, she wasn't all too useful. Now she's a lot less reticent. The three of them separated the pile into books, newspapers, and the lone secret journal. There was no way to unlock that last one, but they could at least make heads and tails of the newspapers. The books seemed largely useless. There are a few articles that might be interesting. This one is the one we already saw before about the murder that occurred at school. It's marked with a number. It says it's 2. There's this one marked with a 7, related to the bombs that blew up part of the school. And there's this one, when he was taken by the police, marked with a 4. I think those are all the articles that seem to be linked. No, there's a 4th one. This one's talking about drugs, and it's marked with a 1. Apparently one of the rooms of the school contained a massive amount of drugs. Whoa. No one ever went in or out, and eventually it aroused suspicion. And that's when that room's contents came to light. After a second to take in all this new information, Luxuria voiced concern. Oh, but this doesn't really help us, does it? We still don't know which of all these is the principal's crime. We should keep the numbers in mind, at least. But they're linked to this room in general. Chio kept the newspapers close for future reference. Oh, we got an items button. Oh, we got one room. Our move button is now items. This has quickly become a mess again, even though we split all of them up. I guess there's no helping it. I'm sure he didn't seem bothered by the mess at all. Feeling at home? Yeah. I don't clean up very often, so my room gets a little messy too. Fair. Yes, interesting. So, murder at school, number 2. This appears to be timeline of events of sorts. Act of terrorism, number 7. Principal's arrest, number 4. Drugs found at school, number 1. Principal was arrested, number 4. There's still 5 and 6. There's still 3, which will probably be the answer, but... Drawers. Behind this desk are some drawers. Mind taking a look in them? Hey, you found them. Why don't you do it for a change? Ruby was about to retort, but she cleared her throat instead. It seemed as though, for a moment, she was going to act as if she already did, but in the end, she restrained herself. Well, fine. I'll do it then. With a surprising turn of events, Superbia opened the drawers herself, one by one, checking into each of them for any clue. She reached into the final one and pulled out an item. Huh, there's a key in here. It's not like the ones before. It's missing some parts. You showed the key to Ancora. Oh. Definitely, this key was only half of one. With only one half of a key, there weren't many locks that could be opened. I guess we have to keep our eyes peeled for anything that resembles the other half of a key. And we also have to find out where the lock is. Maybe it opens a box. Not necessarily. She pointed at the hallway behind the wall, a little further away. There's a door in there, and it's locked. I think that's where this goes. Wow, did you quadruple your intellect in the span of 5 minutes? Hey, fuck off! I can be helpful if I want. Just if you want, huh? Yeah. Yeah, just if I want, shorty. Let's keep searching now. We don't have much time to waste. She reminds me a little of NVIDIA like this. Yeah. She's come around somewhat. Drawers. Drawers. Open and tell me your secrets. And... there! It's already empty. Stop casting imaginary magical spells. They won't make more objects appear inside. Darn. What's in this side? Okay, I'm gonna open it. The small and timid girl reached for the handle. Then she pulled the door open, and inside was... It's a very, definitely in the Clinton family there. Okay, I'm gonna open it. Are you ready? I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna open it. 5 voice. Just fucking open it already. Eek! Inside was a large pot of formaldehyde with a head contained within. What? A human head. I don't think this is related to the room. Closed door. She closed the door afterwards and left the desk's surroundings. Fair. And Cora watched it all happen from the sidelines, offering no comments. I better check on it again just to make sure anyways. Laying down, she opened the door and looked into it again. It sure was a head contained in the pot of formaldehyde. It was kind of hard to tell because the hair was covering the entire side. Let's see, underneath it there are a few words. First, eliminate 2. Huh. Nothing's familiar about this presentation. Can't exactly put my finger on it. Did you hear me, Lux? On the side, an apprehensive Luxuria nodded her head to confirm she heard what was underneath the pot. And Cora closed the door again, deciding against dragging the head outside for any extended period of time. Hey, Bia, I got something for you. Well, that's that. First eliminate 2. Let's remember that. Do you get the head in our inventory? Hell yeah, we do. Looks like a fucking Lego head. That is absolutely a Lego head. I'm not gonna lie. It still feels weird. Oh, that needs a code. That's a thing. And in this corner, nothing. In the opposite corner, nothing. Of course there's nothing. All of their contents have been spilled out onto the floor. Fair. Check you. And over here we have a lot of binders. They're empty. And there's a green pot. Also empty. And some books. Empty. Superbia's head. Just as empty as... Hey! You tricked me! I'd say that was a little mean. She is doing her best. That was also a good one. Look out, here comes Sir Am Ikvase. And his companion, Sir Hammock Vars. Together, they're the 2 ceramic vases. I gotta say, it really nailed the Sigma brand of humor. Really nailed it. I love it. Alright, let's see what's over here. There's a door here and... Wait, we still only have half a key. Hearing the girl talk about a key, Luxuria came into the little hallway in the back of the room. You mean a half like this one? He showed the item to Ancora before the blonde girl took it to add it to the other half, busying her hands while they spoke about it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Where'd you find it? I don't remember. How do you forget something like that? That doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't remember, okay? Maybe it was in a drawer or something. Well, whatever. This works anyway. Let's see, on the count of 5. 4, 3, 4, 5. Hey, wait, where did you come from? Suburbia had joined the two out of nowhere. Without a word, she gave an annoyed sigh and snatched the key from Ancora's hand, hit bumping the girl on over to take her spot. And as she entered, hit bumping the girl on over to take her spot as she inserted the key into the keyhole, turning it to unlock the door. No more dumb countdowns. We have a whole other room to explore, so let's get going. Our time's diminishing by the minute. She's got her priorities in place. Well done. Now the group could use the little back hallway to go into the next room. Okay, let's do this. Luxuria approached the glass in front of the bookshelf just as Ancora noticed her moving over. She called out to the smaller girl, closing the distance between them. I don't think it's going to open right now. There's some kind of electronics. Yeah, I know. Behind the glass is a bunch of books. I don't see anything interesting. Then why would it have the keypad? I don't know. Maybe there's something. Like you said, though. She dejectedly sighed. We can't open it yet. Fair? Let's chat. How you doing, Bia? Yes? About the principal. Do you know what's linking him to us? It's kind of weird. I mean, he's clearly important in some fashion, but I just can't imagine what's going on. I don't know any more than you do, honestly. I'm trying to remember something. I just won't come out. It's like I'm this close to actually realizing something important, and I can't even fucking do it. I know, I can't remember much either. It's Conversation again, huh? No, wait. She snapped her fingers. Hell yeah. The principal. I remember now. He's a rather important man. His name is, no, I can't remember that. Remember a B? B something? Ugh! I can't remember any more than that. I can't remember any more than just a letter. Boyd? No, that's not right. I'm sure you can remember more in due time. Our amnesia can't be permanent, right? Like Vidya imagined, it's just gotta be a side effect. Your desire to waste time is incredible. Fair. Any ideas? Do you have a clue about what the answer to this room might be? I'm still piecing that together, to be entirely frank. Even if I was right, I don't especially relish the idea of exposing myself to potential death, mind you. That sounded a little like Ula talk right there. Excuse you? I am not a cow. I mean more about the way you worded it. Never mind. Your desired... Fair. Bye. Let's go back to the search. Sure. Okay. What is my trust level set? We do have a lot of trust with Gula. Interestingly. I wonder if this is just a way to select the books over there. Since the books that are highlighted are technically off-screen and out of view of the mouse. So... Hi, Lux. Is there anything amiss? About the principal. I was wondering if you had any thoughts about the principal himself. It seems like his involvement with us might be a lot more deeper than we first imagined. I don't know. I can't remember anything about him. For some reason, though, when I hear principal, I imagine a big, muscly man. You know, like a wrestler? I don't know why. I just feel like principals are large men with imposing physiques. Very solid guys, with rich-looking clothes. A little tight, but not too much, with a tie and a pair of glasses. Seeing how Luxuria was straying from the question, Angkor tried shaking her out of it. Earthalux, I hear. She didn't get an answer for another few seconds. Oh! Right, well anyway. Angkor couldn't tell if Luxuria was daydreaming about that description, or if she'd been mentally scarring herself by imagining it. Daydream or day nightmare? If you want to know about his name, I don't know. I can't remember what he looks like. I feel like that man must have been a daddy. Probably. That makes enough sense. Most people get families. I know for a fact he had one. And someone in this group of 9 is a relative, too. Maybe we should get back to the search. Any ideas? Any progress or ideas on how to proceed with the question? Well, I think we should first compile all the possible crimes he could have committed. And then we just need to eliminate each that isn't the one we're looking for. And we'll have the answer with the remaining one. Interesting. Process of elimination, huh? It's my favorite way. Cora felt a slight shiver course through her spine at that tone. But that wasn't creepy at all or anything. You're giving off ominous vibes. That may have been innocent, but you've done some suspicious stuff. A few suspicious things. What's the matter? Hey, Cora, answer me. Oh, sorry. Guess I was just taken aback. I didn't think you had this kind of method to deduce things. Luxuria giggled a little at the dumbfounded girl. Tee! I might be cute, but I can think too. Maybe we should get back to the search. Fair. Let's do it. You're right, let's go back. Last one to find something new is a rotten egg. Oh. Hello. Hello there. Now we're in some serious zeros. Now we're in a puzzle. Oh man. Alright, we'll explore this next video. Progress is indeed saved, I hope.